All right, everybody all right? All right, too, to be here. We'll get ready to sound the Kato Sarah. Appreciate Mr. Yahuah. Appreciate all he has done, all he is doing still. A lot of them down. We appreciate Mr. Yahuah for his recovery. Ain't that right? Some down, some back. The Baraka the Buck today, ain't that right? Well, the other day had to take Buck in and have him checked out. Wasn't feeling good. Appreciate Mr. Yahuah, he recovered him. Who the man? That's what I'm talking. He well now. Y'all heard that? He'd have been figuring like he couldn't figure out who the man was. I said, yeah, he's sick. Rush him on back up now. But now we appreciate Mr. Yahuah. A lot of things we take for granted, but certainly consider your Yeshua, your salvation, in the midst of everything you're going through and everything you deal with. You know, a lot of things come to us now to make us more considerate of it. People might look like it's always something always happening. He's trying to get those that's minded to, you know, and set forth to want the Yeshua, his salvation. They have to allow things to happen and keep a perspective. Because you don't believe it or not, if things not happening, there's no reason for you to consider. It's not. It's people, things are going well, but they have no reason to consider. It's just like the people in Turkey. What you think them people doing? That's a lot of considering. With their religion, everything they got high Christianity, Islam, and some of our people there as well. And you got people that's, you know, that's Gnostic. I mean, they just believe, you know, it's just a deity. Whether it's female or male or whatever, they're not really into that end of it. You know, that could be you or a non-believer in anything. But when you sit around and watch that death toll hit over 11,000, somebody got to consider. And not to mention how many people still buried. Y'all know they're getting ready at that point. The people that still buried on there, they're going to have to just go ahead and crush them in. Yeah, the period of time, they say it's done. They look at you can't go for so long. People been without water all this amount of time. It's freezing. So at the same time, it's freezing. It ain't warm, it's freezing. Freezing. You know, that could be us. Can you imagine you trapped down there and you freezing? And these people, you hear these people talking about they finna give up. They can't hear you, but you can hear them. They saying, you know, pretty soon, hope for survival is finna be over with, which means you just gotta go ahead and destroy the rest of the rubble on top of them. I mean, it's something to consider. They did the same thing in Florida. Y'all remember that building failed in Florida? That's what they did. After a while, they just realized they couldn't get them out. They said, we got to drop the building. Can you imagine you already under there with a glimmer of hope, and you hear them people stop moving stuff around? Them people said, just drop it. At that point, nobody could be alive. That's just people. I mean, it just make you consider. It's like the people that unplugging people. I was talking to my neighbor. She was telling me how she told her kids to unplug her. I said, not me. I said, plug me up with that generator on top of that building. I said, I want the one that kick on when the power go out. Don't put me on no junk in here. Don't put on none of y'all niggas. Anybody living in jail, and all my relatives dead. Don't you keep your mouth shut. I'm gonna tell you something. Look like he's suffering. You shut your mouth. Look like I'm living. No, unplugging something. Cut. I'm telling you, yeah, take that oxygen off. Take your oxygen off. Don't go fooling with that oxygen. Let me breathe. Hook me up. Let that thing go beep, beep. Let that thing doop, doop. Long that thing do. You leave it alone. Shut up and get away from now. I don't know what these folks, all these folks behind. Yeah, I had one years ago, I remember, and she had said she wanted to be unplugged. Y'all remember that? Where's she at? I read my case. I told her, you might have quit to get unplugged. So I can't keep you around here. They're for livers. We try to, how many of y'all want to hold on as long as you can? Shoot, man, I'm down. I just can't help it. She would tell me about they had some lady, they pronounced her dead. So they took her to the morgue. Said she had done jumped up. Said she started back breathing. I said, well, that's a good thing. Now, you at the morgue, she done jumped up. They said, I don't know who said she was dead. They said that ambulance was jumping around. So she popped back up at the mirror. Some of them folks look at, I already done signed the paperwork. I can't let you leave him. I'll tell you, y'all don't listen. There's some folks can't let you leave, especially business hurt. I'll keep me a little helm on me. I'll just be honest. I mean, you think about you behind, them folks talking about repossessing all them caskets and them limousines. And you don't promise some stuff out for prom. Oh, man. I mean, I'm going to give you a little helmet. I ain't gonna, that's not the big helmet, the little helmet. Like that little helmet Dwayne had. Man, that man put the helmet out. Man, put the helmet back in your pants. Man, I'd be embarrassed to put that little helmet out. And he already a little sketchy like Zakiya. Then he had that helmet about that big. I said, man, put that helmet back in your pants. I wouldn't even put that thing in the toolbox. And I wouldn't throw it at a rope. Oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I can't do it. I don't know what. Man, wait, that helmet's so retarded. I'm like, why would you have a helmet this tall? What you nailing this tall? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's always one. You know, they had that helmet, they run out for a sucker, and he came and he got it. Sometimes you got to look at tools. Some stuff you see, and nobody ain't touched it all the time. Read the back of it. It might tell you something you need to know. But anyway, again, though, it's a baraka. They have kai. It's a baraka to have a law, a mind to consider. It's a baraka, you know, have health and strength and realize why I'm able to be able to give him what belongs to him. I don't want to wait till I'm down and begging and can't go nowhere and can't get. Everybody, I think everybody honest when they down and can't do nothing. I want to be honest while I'm up. I'm be honest. He don't heard too many folk give him them lines. If I can get up one more time, he said, yeah, I know. And no doubt you will. It just, I can't use you. So a lot of times what we mess around for, we'll wait till things get really, 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 really bad. And then we really honest at that point. And he can say, yeah, I'm honest too. I can't use you. You can be honest and you really want it. And this time you be telling the truth. Out of all the time we done lied, this one time you really truthful. And he really, the same person saying, I can't use you. I'm telling y'all, a lot of stuff you take for granted. I know, you know, well, y'all, you know, Yahuah been yuking on us. He definitely have been, as they would call, gracious to us, you know, keep us around and hadn't allowed us to have to eat out of garbage can and had to beg and sell your soul or sell your kids for sex to try to pay no bills. And then I appreciate everything he do. He giving us what y'all, you know, appreciate now. It's a lot of people. And you can criticize them people out there, but some of the people doing, that's all they got. Can you imagine he give you, that's the only way you're going to get it. You know, and you ain't going to be saved. I mean, it's just some position you can be put in. You can't be saved. You can't. I had a cousin years ago, he dead now, he was stupid like that. He told me, a preacher said one time, he said prostitutes would be the first ones saved. He said, because they want to shame of their body. Now, I was a young teenager then. He was older than I was. I knew he was a diamond then. I definitely know he's a diamond now. You know, the fact you listen to a preacher tell you that is to tell you what about him, his character. That he would, you know, would push that mindset. And somebody take it, he'd repeat it. He said that. He said, preacher said the prostitute said, because she's not ashamed of her body. So that'd be the first one to be saved. They just tell you, people to say anything to get people. So a lot of times you'll see, you know, droves of people. You don't know why they're there. That's why I ask y'all periodically, why are you here? Have you really considered your latter end? Because that's why you ought to be here. Have you considered your latter end? So, you know, it behooves us to do self-examination every day. Because, you know, just because you up don't mean you going to lay you down. And just because you lay down don't mean you're going to be the one to get up. Y'all got it? You might get up in the morning, your body's still laying there, the fascias lift, and you looking out saying, "Ooh, that's fine, I must be dreaming." You're not dreaming, you done separated. And the next move from now, that fascia got to go back to that flesh, that basal, and you got to stand up in the mosh pot. So while we here on this side, this is our best opportunity, our only opportunity to get it right is on this side. You know, my prayer's the same, Palau, because that's what I want. I figure I don't need a switching up now. I got too late in the game, start asking for treasures and goods and other things. I just want to make sure we're right at the end of the day, because you can get all that and still not be right. There's a lot of things you can possess and you can have but still don't have the tranquility you get when you have shalom with Elohim. And that's our goal, is to make reconciliation with him. Make sense? Well, I mean, it just depends. I guess depending on where y'all at now. Everybody don't see it the same way. And I mean, I'm the type of person where I'm at in my age or where I'm at now, I don't have that time to argue with people on where you at or what you're trying to do. You do what works for you. Let's be honest. I'm telling anybody, don't let nobody try to scare you into nothing and make you do nothing. If you don't consider for yourself, you know how vulnerable you are. You know what you deal with and what you go through. You know what your fears and your woes are. If you're good with you'll meet him in Mosh Pot, if he exists, as you might think, and you good with whatever happened then, because nobody know until you see him, you go ahead and you run that race. I ain't going to be able to do it. I ain't going to be able to do it. I'll be lying. I ain't going to tell you that lie. I ain't going to be able to do it. There's a lot of stuff you can lie about, like claim somebody your cousin. Remember that? That's my cousin. You can tell them lies. I ain't finna tell that lie. I ain't finna try to tell them I'm all right. I just meet him in judgment and whatever happened, happened. Yeah, that's not me. I ain't finna like this. I'm not going to fake the phone. Ain't that right? I ain't going to fake the phone. I believe the man exists. I believe among that there's going to be a mosh pot of judgment. And I believe among you got to be right. Y'all got it. The man fixed the system to where everything come out right. I was thinking about it. When you consider how he does things, he set up every parameter to make sure we were right. Every parameter he set up for us to be right. But like he said, unashamed, man, he done sought out, or Ish, man, Adam, he done sought out many wicked devices. And that's why we here, trying to make reconciliation, trying to do as the book told us, work out our own Yeshua. And how we supposed to do that? Where we get that from? Hands. God, I got Papa's son got up before you. I ain't see. Well, minister, have we promoted you yet? You minister? You stay up there, here to Zacha in due time. Who we got now? Y'all want to go with Hall? Y'all know the Hall out rank everybody. We got a Hall call. Hall call. Oh, we say Hall call. What was that? No, sorry, Hall call. Go ahead. Hold on. We got some. All right. What you gonna say? You heard what he said? Same thing. Okay, both of y'all right. That's all right. Got the Hall and out the mouth of babe. That's right. That's what I think about. Where's you gonna get it from? He told you to work out your Yeshua with fear and trembling. That's what they did. The book said they feared. They yarn and they were removed. They started moving. They fear causing them to move. That's what they want you to do. That's why they want you to serve him with fear and trembling. So it make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You'll get to it. You'll move. When you don't have no fear, is it that serious? Think about it, if it ain't that serious, I know people get billed, they just let them lay there and stack it. Ain't that serious because they in a cutoff notice. Everything that man sends you is a cutoff notice. Immediately. How you act when you got a cutoff notice? Ain't that right? You need to call them folks now. I need to call them, make some arrangements. I need to get their paid. That's a cutoff notice. Them folks not finna pay. I need to make some, listen, every amount he give you is a cutoff notice. That make sense? Now, I know a lot of y'all procrastinate like you do your bills and pay them when you get them. And I can't give them what I ain't got. I guarantee you had to do something else. I don't play them games. I go and try to get them a little bill paid. I like to get you out my fade for that month. And they're crying because I want to go out there because I want to pee on the envelope. If I ain't paid that money, probably don't want to pee on that envelope. I ain't saying I have now. I ain't saying I won't. I don't know really what I'm saying. But y'all heard what I said, though, isn't that right? But no, that's what we do, though. We want to make sure we get this thing right, more than anything. So our goal is when we come together, we do talk to discuss. Then we want to hear the debate so we can consider. Y'all got it? If you hadn't, you need to. Those at home, this COVID is still going around. We got some that came down, they wounded, then some blame some people that had nothing to do with it. Hayward said it came from Fogo. Do y'all remember Hayward at Fogo? No. That's all I'm trying to figure out. He said, yeah, man, that man was sick before we went. That man said, hit that Fogo. We said, it's tight. Fogo, we like, you weren't even there. Then Big Ed said he got it from y'all. He's like, here's the Mipple car. I said, the Mipple car get it. I said, you had this week before last. Oh, they're right, Raha. That man just wanted to stick somebody with it. I said, if anything, you gave it to somebody. But, to be honest, this thing going around, and it ain't stopping. It ain't going to stop. It's him. It's Yahuah. Not until he accomplishes what he done. Until he done accomplished the thoughts of his Lord, he not going to stop it. People just know you can probably, best thing you do is to pull out and say, your will be done. I want Ashton to get rid of COVID. It wouldn't be, now if he decided to get rid of it, you know, I ain't mad with him, but he got something he need to accomplish. And he gonna send that thing out, and he done left it out here for a reason. He done asked y'all now. He said, who put out a trap and take it up for they calling thing? He done asked you that. And who blow a trumpet? He said, ain't even no trouble in the city. That's not, you don't send no, when you blow that, because the trouble's a warning. That man done told you, man, he done set that thing out. And he said, I ain't gonna take it up till I caught what I intended. He said, a lot of people done died from COVID. He said, I'm still trapping. And that, like Yahuah trapping. That's it for everybody. Cause say, listen, it raining. If it feel like it raining in your kai, your life, it cause he just trying to get you to consider. Everybody, he trying. There's a lot of people. You know what they're doing? They're starting to tune in. They're starting to watch. They're starting to sit back. You know what they're starting to say? He ain't too crazy. He does make some sense. That's I don't know. All the year, there ought to be somebody be able to prove me with somebody, some picture with someone besides my brother. He run around slandering me. Oh, dirty joker. I had talking about I made a video. He done married my wife. Shut your mouth. You disrespectful. My brother, shut up. My brother is disrespectful. I am running their mouth. You shut up. You can't hold on to it. Shut your mouth. I got her now. That bad though. He ain't made no video yet. Everybody else done made it. How that done? I done had 4 parents call them and tell them. So one of them, listen, Dad's son, come on home. Come on home. So he been exposed. He said, what? So yeah. Said the man that married his brother's sister. Married his brother's wife. Said, come on home. Say, I already been exposed. He said, what in the world? Listen, the folk got the evidence. Well, I can't fight proof. What I'm gonna do? I talked to my brother. I said, listen, let me and you be good though. I'm not telling him, let me and you. Mama, how hurt you'll be if you heard me and my brother him fighting about my wife? About me. When that mess, that hurt you. You got to sit up and look at your boys out here fighting about the wife. Listen, I got her. Let me have her and just move on. And let's just not have all this fight. Me and him ain't fought about it one time. Everybody else fight. Everybody. I done got his brother wife. If my brother ain't complaining, why you mad? Won't you go get your brother wife? And the stuff people done went them a Ferrari. Goodness, man, I got a pretty Ferrari. Y'all seen it on it? Oh, it's pretty though. I seen it. They had that thing parked in front of their house, caught sideways. They said Tony Smith and his Ferrari, and his members paying for it. I walked that door looking at it. Where they keeping it at? I want to drive my Ferrari. They're like, how y'all find this info? And then it's the dumbest mindset of people to entertain foolishness. I would like to have it, because I would drive it. I would drive it to your mom and them house, my mom and them house. What am I hiding for? Y'all done paid for it. At least let me ride it. What's the shame? I don't know. People just, I don't know. But in the end of the day, it's about being saved. If you ain't doing no work, people ain't got no reason to talk about you. People don't have no reason to fight you. See, I'm doing some work. Believe it or not, I'm informing and giving our people intelligence. All I'm doing is trying to, and it ain't me, it's Mr. Yahuah working through me, through Yahushua HaMashiach. His salvation, the anointed one. He saves. And all I'm trying to do is get people to look at the bar, look at the word with a practicality of understanding and realizing that people have made this way so difficult. Man, it's a lot of stuff. You don't, and they get you with, you don't question God. You know good way you don't have an ideal in your mind, and you just somewhere, you don't question him. They just tell you, they say, you don't question God. And that's like a taboo line. To ask a question, you questioning God. Man, everybody in that church looking around, they got questions too, saying, you credit God, they're like, and they gonna put it on you, all them things. I got some questions. You know what they say? I have some questions, wondering why. You remember that song? Where will I end up at the moment that I die? What if I help Satan destroy this whole world and take down the third part of Shamaim? Can I be saved? We like, I answer that tonight. No. That man said, what if I go take down the third part of Shamaim with my tail from Satan? Can I be saved? I'm like, you don't know? That man asked a whole bunch of questions, didn't he? Like, goodness. what if I blaspheme and sold my birthright like Esau, kill Abel, feed Adam and Eve? Can I be saved? Like, no, you can't be saved. And he started off so humble, though, like he really wanted to know, didn't he? Like, you feeling, what are you trying to do? That's how I ask for. What you trying to do when you asking all these questions? See, some stuff you want to ask people, what's your real intent to read? You want to need to know all this. Y'all got it? I appreciate Mr. Yahuah. We're going to try to get ready to look at the Dabarim, the word. Well, look at the Dabar, the words, Dabarim, plural, the words. And we need to familiarize ourselves with our language. Simply because if that's the speech that he gave them, why wouldn't I want it? Let's be honest. When he made Adam, how did he speak to him? Because he spoke to people that had an understanding. And those people that understand achieve something. We lack understanding on a lot of issues, and you speak in English. So some of the controversy I would have to come up to conclude is the conversation. Because a lot of times the way the words are given to you or spoken to you, the way they kind of formatted in the speech, it's a thing where it's not real clear sometimes on what you're supposed to do. It's just being honest. Had we not gone back and looked at some things, for years I thought that Elohim is one, which he is, but in the book of Bereshit that they call Genesis, it's Elohim, and we learn that's plural. Your English version says God, capital G. Typically when they tell you it's capital, it's almost denoting that it's one. Because they did capital G, I think small O, then capital D in some versions. Anybody have a King James version? I heard one of the kids throw theirs in the garbage. Then, which one y'all throw it away in the garbage? They say he washed it. I want to throw it. I can't use it. He did the right thing. Your mom looking, did you pay for that Bible? She's going to take it back to the store. I get $4 or $5 off of them. But you think about it. People saying you can be saved with it, but that makes a difference. Think about this. He that amends on me, as the Ketuvim, the writings have said. When you look at, can you just pull that King James version and just see it, how they show it, Bereshit? Oh, we talking. As a matter of fact, you know what I want? Let me go and get that out of the way. I know they'll say, oh, there you go again. Well, this is the truth for everybody. You're free to believe what you want to believe. Listen, I won't make nobody make me believe nothing I don't want to believe. Right. All I want to do is get down to what's the conversation he had. Think about it. It wasn't significant. Why was he speaking it to them? Right. That's right. It was their language. And that's the language that they held to. And when you communicated with them, you had to speak a similar language, had to speak the language that they understood, they knew. That's the language he came in. That's the language they knew. That's their conversation. You look in the region and what they used from the Phoenician language or the Phoenician, when you look at the alphabet, all of it was similar. People that spoke similar. There were things we had in similarities. We had, in common. With these people, we don't have nothing in common with them. These people do anything. I know people think a lot of America when they play sick. The way, if you looked at America, like we say, homosexuality, how we feel about homosexuality, we feel like it's wrong. We don't agree with it. We feel like it's atrocious. We feel like, it's disgusting. And it's something that goes against the Creator. This country right here, they Supreme Courts. They're lawmakers. They pass bills and laws for these people to do this. Y'all don't think this against this man? So the people, when we go down and then America comes and attack other countries. Well, Islamic countries, typically they go out to Islamic countries. Now they're going at some of their own whites that don't agree with like Putin. Putin don't agree with homosexuality. That's another reason why they're going at him. He's really against it. Russia's been against it. Oh, yeah. Homosexuals get beat up. Police keep walking. I seen this years ago. Listen, they stomped on homosexuals. Listen, police, they was on time whooping police. They like that, man. Them jokes kept going, police they're like, I can't stop them. They look at, man, they're like, because people, I know they'll say, now, I'm not telling people to go ahead and beat them up. Don't put that on me. But I'm saying that from their end, they look at, a lot of these people are child molesters. I know it ain't every one of them, but that's a large majority because you're unchaste. They're not, they can say what they want to. I know people, I got a gay uncle, my gay uncle, yes, your one gay uncle. I guarantee you'll find out about your gay uncle before I will. Because I ain't letting you keep nothing. No, I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. I don't want to push you to that level. I don't want to find out where you're at because then I know what I'm going to do to you. And it don't involve you going to jail either. It don't involve you going to the door. Don't worry about that one. Please don't worry about that. It's the fact that a lot of these people, look at these folks, they're dangerous. Look at those boys was that in Georgia and right here in Atlanta? Those two homosexual white men had that little boy. Them and all their friends done ran through them 2 kids. The judge ought to go to jail. These facts ought to be. That's. I don't know when I had a conversation really, because it just made me upset. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. What in the 70s, 60s, 50s, that was unheard. In your time, when you were growing up, was it known or would people have accepted 2 men homosexual adopting a kid? That ain't even a conversation. That's not 2 men walking and say, me and him finna get married. Man, folks are laughing. Man, it was disgusting. Since it never even let that, I'm telling y'all something. A lot of stuff people doing now, they putting that in their minds. Yep. People been homosexual, they never pull that stuff. Homosexual never try. When they first pushed that stuff, it was homosexual came out against it. Yep. Homosexual even said it shouldn't happen. They said, that's abomination. They know they wrong. They're like, they ain't got no business getting married. They putting these thoughts in these people's head. They putting these people out here. These people shooting up schools, killing all these people. How you want to do it in years? I'm going to tell you, you ain't know nobody crazy growing up. I'm talking about some people, if you, listen, look wrong, say something to them wrong, they'll kill you. I knew them folk. How many of them folk were shooting up schools? How many of them were walking around shooting up crowds of people? How all of a sudden these folks so crazy now, they shooting up schools? I know folk, listen man, I know folk, if the wind blow wrong, your behind come up dead. Not one time had no conversation about going to no school. Let's go up here, lock the door, chain them. Lock them in here and start sniping them going down the hall. Never had the conversation. Never had the conversation. I know some boy, they popped the door, shots and jokes. They went to school Monday morning. That was Saturday night. I'm talking about let loose now. Shoot, they went to school. Then that day like it was nothing. I know some folk, listen, I'm telling you, I know some folk, they don't care the sun don't shine. You hear me? Never happened. Never happened. No, nobody thought like that. They putting this in these people. They creating these people. Watch the people face when they take them to court. Y'all remember folks get shamed, they'll put a coat on their face. You know they don't never have it. You know when them folks sitting there, they just sitting there, look, they don't break down crying. Notice they don't break down crying. They just sit here looking the whole time. Never change their facial spread. Walk them in, they always look the same. Like the guy went here and stabbed them people up, right? And they were looking at how. I get stopped by the police. Why would the police be stopping me? Let me think, I killed some people. Why would I be sitting in the car waiting for the police to walk around here? If I'm getting stopped, I know I killed some people. Why would I not associate this stop with me killing some people? And I'm looking, I'm just talking to the police. No. Then I leave, I get stopped again. Surely I got to know this time they stopped me because they owned me. And then they got it for taking the court, these folks just sitting here just looking. No fact, no pity, no remorse, just sit here. I don't believe none of it. I don't believe it. They making these people. All these people created by them. Listen, that UK Ultra, they giving them people that stuff. Listen, these people implant, they making these people. Don't believe that. People don't think like that. They create them. After the Columbine, man, we're gonna get some trench coats. We're gonna go to school. We're gonna crawl up and lay up in the top of the school, up in the top of the little attic, and then we're gonna start sniping them. Then we're gonna get out and we're gonna go to the airport. And we're going to take a plane and we're going to fly. Some high school kids put this together. And we're going to go get a plane, a commercial plane, and fly out the country. I don't believe none of it. I don't believe none of it. They create these people. It don't make sense. They create these people. The other boy in Florida shot up that school. Just so happened he got a picture outside his drawer with a Trump hat. Pointing at nothing. This makes it, pictures taken. What just so happened every time you find these people, they got a collage of pictures. Before they just have a whole collage of pictures. They making these people. What made him put on a Trump hat? Because that whole thing nothing but a scheme. I don't believe these people. Stop believing everything y'all see. Nobody that stupid. I just don't believe it. They making these people, the boy went up there, that Buffalo, drove 2.5. You know how much thing you got 2.5? First, I'm tired. I got to stop and piss. I'm still going. Got my phone, record myself as I'm pulling up. This didn't make all the sense in the world. This is called evidence. Incriminating evidence. and I'm putting up with my phone strap. I done put all this together. I want my phone on me real time, then on y'all as soon as I get a call. Pop up, you crawl. Brr. More people, you in your mind thinking, when you actually shoot people, these folks dying, and you see stuff, but, oh, my, whoa, done went too far. Abort. No, I keep going. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Only way that makes sense for them folks to do that, that's not your first time. This real life. I'm popping people. Listen, I'm watching blood skeet heads bust open. You telling me I'm good that I keep going? Versus, oh, blank. This ain't went nothing like I thought. I'm still going. Folk crawler. I ain't even letting them hit Mercer. Brr, spray them, just keep going. Just keep. Makes no sense. I don't care what nobody say. These people are ops. They are creating these people. They putting this stuff in them. That's why you got to get your kid, get rid of them stupid games, get rid of these stupid friends, get them out of these stupid apps, and start teaching your kids some sense. They program through the TV. They make a fool out of them. They make a fool out of them. I know y'all still do the same thing. You still let them watch, let them still do stupid. We grow up, we watch stuff like now the villain is the hero. We grow up, you want to be the good guy. Kid want to be the bad person all the time. You ain't want to be them guys. Even with wrestling, everybody the same. When we came up, it was a good side, a bad side. You remember that? It wasn't no everybody was no same. But you know what? Look at how that program, when we came along, you always booed the bad guy. The good guy who you want to win. The bad guy cheats. Now the good guy cheats. So now they fit well. Who bad? You can pick it. The bad one is the good one. But we came along with you. I'll tell you, man, you watch wrestling. They was like Andre the Giant, good or bad? He was the good. You want to see? He was the good guy. All these guys now, everybody riding. Everybody riding. What do y'all think they do to the psyche? We grew up, Superman, although these Greek mythology hero stuff people have, they were the good guys. So as kids growing up, it was to kind of get you to assimilate, to try to be a good guy. They would show you the other, always the other one, everybody that was a counterpart to them was ugly or messed up. You remember they had stuff like, they would make them kind of look ugly or something be wrong there, like Solomon Grundy, remember him? Big old, but they wanted you to associate bad with a bad look to know you don't want to, this guy live in a swamp. Yeah. Superman live in the Justice League, right. A league where people are for justice and for right. These bastards here, they just done messed up everything. I don't know who your kids follow now. I don't know who they is. They probably got some homosexual hero now, the best one out there. All counterpower, just spray AIDS all over you. Kill you in 10 minutes. Kids don't stand a chance. Now, I'm telling y'all, look, the world ain't just unraveling and changing for no reason. It's changing because of the devices they're using. It's changed because of the stuff they teaching your kids. Look at it. I mean, look at the whole thing. Look at, man, with kids in school, man, we did stuff all the time. Get up, teacher, beat. Now, I had a friend feel great, and his mouth was bad, but he didn't beat up no teachers. He had a mental problem. Now, somebody came up dead in their house. Now, I know what he had done. But it's certain things you don't want to tell people when you know they can kill folks and their facial expression don't change. Some stuff you just keep your mouth shut. Now, we still smoke to get high, but I didn't get high with it. Because I know what you'll do. That woman just came up there from nowhere now. I can't get high with you because you might revert back. I'm just telling you now, there's some folks out here now. You got to be careful. Y'all hear me? So let's go and get that right here. This is fine. Where? Okay. 15 and 4. Romans. But this is, we're using, what's the version we use? The Killian? What is this, the Killian we're using? Orthodox. Put it down so people can see it. They want to follow us. We want them to see what we're using. We want people to see it. Now, do we have all our confidence in these people? No. We're just trying to get back. In order to get back, you got to go through the fire with these folks to get back. Now, don't forget, when you use the Orthodox Jewish people now, they use a lot of new comments. They use a lot of new words because their vocabulary changed even from the time that they stole their way back to, stole their way out of Germany and Poland and made it over to our land. So they don't win, and they fabricated, came with a Yiddish language. So some of these words they have is not our speech. Some of our words they took and they enunciate them differently. And then you got some that's just totally just different because they went into a new dialect, okay? But we try to be mindful when we watch it. All right, this is 15:4. So they saw what with the Orthodox. All right, 15:4, Romans. Let's go.
For as much as Nikatab beforehand,
So then for as much as was written before.
Nikatab for our Lamed, Kodash.
That's one of the, and see that, to teach us, to show us, instruct us, to separate us. See, that's the problem that's why people don't want to separate. Think about it. Why would you separate when you don't understand why? See, you don't see the need of why you need to separate. Think about it. Think about it. It makes sense that he came to limit the teachers and show us and said, stay with them. The teaching itself will make you separate. It wouldn't make sense for you to stay. Okay. Y'all can believe what you want to believe. Let's see. Come on.
That through endurance and through and through the Nakum,
without quitting, and the consolation
of the Ketubim, Kadash, we might hold fast Tikva.
See that? He wants you to hold to it. Ain't just having it. Having a cord, you want to hold to it. That makes a difference, doesn't it? And the book told us to hold fast to that which is too. Y'all know that? So that would make sense, taking hold. Isn't that right? He talked about laying hold on Alam Kai, on eternal life. See, people say, well, it's the same thing. Tony Smith, he just kind of want to be extra. It ain't want to be extra. I just want to make sure that I'm direct. I'm really aligning myself with what the man have us to do. And a lot of things they gave us, it might seem simple to some of us, but you don't know why you off. It's because of what you do every day. Look, and let's see how it reads. 12, 9, no, 7, 28, Kahala. Which will drop down. 28, 29, might be 30. Kahala, for those watching, Kahalath. 7, 28, 26. What's the last verse? 30, 31? Okay. 29, what I want to get. How about that? Kahalath, you have it as Ecclesiastes. And Kahalath is supposed to mean the preacher or lectures. This is a lecture that they'll call a lecture, okay? So we know what our books mean. Let's see. Lo.
This only have I found.
He said, it's the only thing I found. Listen.
That Ha Elohim.
See, that the Elohim. That's what the Ha is for the. Go ahead.
Hath made Ish Yashar.
Yashar. You know what that is? Upright. But what happened?
But they have sought out Kishvanat Rabim.
Many schemes. That's what they sought. And think about this. So if I made man upright, so man know how he's supposed to go. Then I had man where he reads from right to left. Now you want to ask yourself, how man went wrong? Look, you look at the premise of how he set things up, it was always set for you to be right. When you were up, it was right. And the way you went was right. But now they got you going left. And really it don't matter. And it might seem simple to us, but a lot of these things they took out of our behavior and took out of our practices, changed how we do things. Think about it. You're reading right. How you go wrong? See what I'm saying? They set you up and they just turned it. And then now to go back to look at how things were set up, because he told you how I made man. Why would I make things be, if I made you upright, why would I have you reading left? It would make sense that you would read right. So everything will be on a practice of, guess what? That's all you customary do is do things right. When you went in your house, there'll be a constant examination of your good for a woman. She look and say, like they said, man, I done ran out of this. You know how you wouldn't have ran out? Because you'd have paid attention that you weren't supposed to have no divers weights. Which means you'd have been conscious of it the whole time to make sure you kept everything level. It's a constant keeping of things. So guess what? That's the same way you do, like people tell you, keep a level head. What'll tend to keep you from getting a level head? That's emotion, other things. So guess what I got to do? I got to keep them intact. Got what I'm saying? That is, think of it. You can't have diver weights in your house. It'll seem simple. It ain't nothing. People say, well, you know, I just think it's too far. But you're on a cusp of he made you upright. You have to read, you go right. Everything you do is right. So you keep a level to everything that you're doing. You can't have diverse weights. Everything has to be level, so it keeps it where you keep a balance. You got what I'm saying? And now people don't think he wouldn't give it to you if it didn't play a part. People today don't think a whole lot of it. I mean, they ain't got nothing to do with it. I just look at the Lord, and I just keep the Lord in my heart because you're stupid. Why would he have you to do it if it don't make sense? It don't make sense to have you to do it unless it all plays a part of how you're supposed to operate. You tell you to meditate on these things day and night. Well, I don't know how you do it. You tell me ain't nothing else come to your mind. But he said, whenever you sit, talk about it. When you lay down. So he put you in a practice of, it put you in a mind of meditation. Constantly about meditating on it. Not just when I get a break to sit down. When you see somebody that's of the adult, somebody that's of the culture, then this going to be the conversation. It's got to come up. Y'all got it. Then you put it upon your doorpost when you entering in. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant reminder about things. When you're laying down, he wants you to meditate. He said, when you get up, I want you to think on. All these are diversions that keep you from getting off, but people, they don't see it that way. And that's why we're in such a difficult state we're in now. Because everybody's mind so clustered with so many other things. And you don't realize what plays a part of your behavior. See, what you take on the most of is going to be the most dominant. Why you think he wanted you to think and meditate more on the debauch? So it could be more of your behavior. And sometimes people don't realize why they keep faltering or why they keep falling into violation. Look at what's most in your behavior. Mumbling, grumbling, complaining. He even talk about these are complainers. Yeah, right. And I'm telling you, Yahuah told you that. They called you. He told you about these people. So that's what we start looking at how he made them get sharp. He made you upright. He said, but then look at all these schemes these people don't put into play. That don't seem like they're important. They are important. If he set up the way for us, it was because this is the best way for you. Y'all got it? Let's just look at something. Let's see if that's the 10, 11, 12, 10, 11 and 1, Barashit. Let me see something. Barashit. They call it Genesis. Now you can go with Genesis and you can be fine with it. It all depends on where you at. It is, because a lot of stuff, people, it ain't a big problem. But my end is this. I'm trying to get back with him. Rashid. In the start, in the beginning, let's say that's what I want. Listen.
In the Kol Ha'aratz was of one language, and of Dabarim, Akadim.
See if it's 12 and 1. Avram. Let's say I'm pronouncing it Avram. All right.
Now Yahuah said unto Abraham,
What happened?
get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from the Bais, Avika, unto Ha'aratz that I will show thee.
He want him to get out from his family in Mishpachah, and from the land too. To a place he was going to show him. See that 25 and 1 by Rashid. I don't blame people. Stay where you at. 25, 26. Let me see. 26. Let me set up my 26. Yeah. Listen.
And there was a famine in Ha'aratz, besides the famine Harishon that was in the Yamim of Abraham. And Yatsakak went unto Abimelech, Malak of the Philistine, unto Gerar. And Yahuah appeared unto him and said,
What
Go
you
not down into Mizraim,
And what happened?
dwell in Haaretz, which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in Haaretz, Hazat, and I will be with thee, and I will barak thee.
Let me ask you a question. So here we go. That he appeared unto Yasakak, which he laughed. He laughed. That's she laughed. That's what his name. He laughed. So he told him not to go down to Mizraim. What was the factor that was going on again?
Famine.
Famine in the land. And he told him not to go into Mizraim. What did we learn about Mizraim when a famine came? They had food. They had goods. That's right. You're exactly right. They had food. They had provisions. He told him not to go. Why he didn't tell everybody else? Was he the only person that was going to go down? They have famine. Other people going to go too to where they're going to find resources.
Right.
That's common sense.
Right.
But he told that man not to go. Let's see what happened.
Sojourn in Haaretz,
Stay in the land.
and I will be with thee,
And I'm going to be with you.
and will barak thee.
I'm going to bestow a benefit upon you. That's what is, a benefit.
For unto thee and unto thy Zerah.
What's that? The singers? Descendants are on. Just for peace sake. Yeah. So it ain't me to remember. You know what I'm saying? It's my reputation. Then we'll look at it. Point it out up here on the board, what you said. Point it out, please. Point the word up. Right here. Let's look it up so they can see it. Did you come in here today with a mind you gonna get a check? What you said to yourself? Tell what you said to yourself. Did you tell yourself anything today? Like, not today. You wasn't even thinking about it. That's why I put up there, you gotta meditate on that thing. Yeah. No, yeah, all right. Zero. How to show you how to phonetically say it, the seed. Okay? And to a seed, or he put the fruit. So y'all see how they wrote it? This is the Zen. The modern, this is the Zen. Y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
The purple foot, this is Seagull. Seagull, that's how they told you, that's how they said it came with the E sound. Okay? So now when he went here, this is the Rosh. That's how you got the E right here. Right? Typically we'd have wrote a Z-A-R-A. Okay? So here, what they did was they put Katif. Now they put Patak. Patak. This is the olive. Well, this is the Typically you'll sit up under the olive. So they'll tell you see the they'll tell you that the has the sound is not long, it's short. Okay, so you got your short and your long sounds. So Patak is a shorter sounding of the A. If you did the A in aqua, the that's the long. That's gonna be Katif. So Katif is going to be, no, I'm sorry, not Katif. Kametz. Kametz is going to be long. So when you're going to do, anytime you see the dash sound on the bottom, that's letting you know that that's going to be Patak. And Patak is going to be short. So the A like olive will be shorter. Okay, if you're doing aqua, it will be shorter. So the is a soft sound. The is soft. It's a soft A sound. So now with them putting Patak, they're letting you know it's a little small. So how they doing the phonics, they're saying Zara. Zara. Y'all hear Zara is what they're saying, how you enunciate it, okay? So these what I want, so we do go here, I want y'all to look at these, so I want to make sure you get you kind of familiar with them when you see them, okay? You just took a dump? Man, I know that's a fresh tuck in, man. Fresh tuck in. That's a dunk all day, man. That man about to, he done passed Kareem Abdul. We about to pass, what that other boy, that pocketbook? LeBron. Little pocketbook and Dwayne Wade. That's sick. And what's the other boy? West. Bosh had one too. Bosh had to prove. He went on TV and lost her. Tell me on gate, this my wife right here. Man, I'd have never answered them folks. Why folks? It done got better. You on TV got to tell them folks that's your wife and kiss to prove you ain't gay. That's a gay move all day. That man arguing with these people, you gotta ask yourself, what you did, it'd be one thing, when the world started talking and got better to you, what you doing? That's sick, the whole world's sick. Gabrielle Union messed that boy up. God, I had that boy painted toenail black, messed him up. Man, Dwayne Wade used to be a good young man too. You can't mess with everybody. She got one of them omens, you see her skin don't wrinkle. That's an omen. I'll be careful with these girls, everybody mess around. That's an omen. All right, let's get ready to go. So y'all got Zerah. So they want him to stay, and I would give all these. They put the S on him. I don't know. Won't put no S on Arats. And Arats might be plural or singular. And I will perform the Shabbat, which is the oath, which you will use Shabbat for oath too. Okay, unto Abraham. What does it say? Avka. Would be he putting a V for a B. Avka. Who our fathers? Thy father. Oh. So the ha would have been in the front. Typically, I think they use TH on it, but we're dealing with these people translating. And this one he'll do. And I will make thy Zerah to multiply as the Kukavim of Shamaim, and I will give unto thy Zerah all these Arats, and then thy Zerah shall call Gui, which is going to be all Gui, Ha Arats be Barak.
Barak.
Listen why?
Because Abraham obeyed my call.
What mean he did what? Shama with. That's important for you to know. That's what you got to look at. You listening, but what's your intent? Yeah, people come to school. They sit in the classroom, but you can look and tell, oh, man, they're like, I'm here, ain't it? So you ain't here to learn. You put them out. In their mind, they think you wrong, but at least I'm here, but you're not here to do no good. And that's what he's looking at with Abraham. Abraham Shama, which means he was listening with intent to do. That's how he left. That's what he did.
And was
what?
Shomer over my Miss Maret.
Okay, he was a teacher. The Shomer is like a teacher. It's like a guardian. Shomer, S-A, they spell the word S-H-O-M.
They spell the S-H-O-M-E-R.
No, that's it. Then I said S-H-O-M-E-R. Shomer.
You said S-H-A.
Come on. Come on. My brother just called. Come on. My brother said, come on, Chris. We ain't going to have that. How many of y'all try to correct y'all wrong? Put two check. Come on, we heard it. Yeah, we heard it. That whole side heard when I said S-H-O-M-E-R. He said, I said S-H. He said two check. Put one by Hayward, too, so you feel him. Put one by Hayward. He undone something. Get Hayward, too. Where his name at? Put it on there. His name on there. His wife had to write his name in. Look at it. Put it that's up there somewhere. Come on here and write Chimp. They put Chimp. And just put it in front of that. That way, give him another one. He gonna do something. Oh, he don't like what you just did. Give him another one. And give him another one. Because he holler, put one by yours. I know him. You think he stopped? He ain't stopped. We can do this all night. You disrespectful. Yeah. Did you read yourself one, Chris? Yes, sir. Did y'all say that? I'm just making sure. Did everybody say it? Yes, sir. We ain't see it. We got to get another one here, making sure. Somebody said, I ain't really sure. So, okay. What was I find? Okay. Because he is shaman. That's right. It's just, and he was a shaman. Now, in the one we read, it don't tell us that. I'm thinking if I'm correct, the shaman is someone like, if I'm correct, it's like a guardian. Is that good, Minister Dixon? Shomer? What's it saying, Shomer? No, I'm asking, what does it say there? No, I'm asking, what is a Shomer? It is, it's a guardian. You don't see that? A Shomer is a guardian. What you say? No, I'm asking, what do you say? I know, I'm asking, what do you see? If it's something different, we want to know. Shomer. They ain't here to learn. So what was him for before? Right, Shama said to hedge about as with thorns, to protect, attend to. See, guard. Some stuff I know, believe it or not, without looking it up. But you know what? When you read the King James Version, it never told us that he was a guardian, did it? It never told us that. Huh? I ain't hear it. It did? In the King James Version. It just said he kept, but it said he kept my laws, my statute. But here it said he was a shama over my, my commandment. Mishma, okay, shama, he was a guard. Okay, the guard keep, okay, I thought it was saying over there, okay. My mitzvah, my, what is it, kukat, and my Torah, which are my laws. The Torot is for their law. Like we say Torah, Torah. So, and the laws for Torah. So now, the reason why I had y'all to come back and look at this, remember in the 12th chapter, he came back and told you, he told Abraham to do what? Come on, big man. It preacher fight night tonight. We're not having that stuff. I wouldn't holler out there. I wasn't that. That man was very coming. He told Abraham, don't go back and, when Abraham told you he went to Mizraim, his hand was up before y'all. What happened? And give Chris one, too, for hollering out. You want to get? Give Chris one first. Stop. I just want to see where your heart was. Why don't you condemn yourself first?
That's right. Can I condemn Chris second?
All right, go ahead.
Where you at?
Chris, he want to know where you at so he can put one of them.
I get it later.
He said he'll get you later. They make him be back there. You know he'll be back there studying. Let me tell y'all something. Please don't tell Jahid no story in y'all life. He remember every story. That man brought some story. He said, yeah, preach it like you said. I said, nigga, what you doing remember that? That ain't your business. Yeah, so the reason why I want y'all to look at this door and consider it is because when he told him to get out from his house, you never found where he sat down and actually taught him this. So it's very well possible that he knew these things before he left. And we'll look at why we'll base that, okay? That he had a knowledge and have understanding before that. We know sure other things could have been fact that, of course, you learn as you're going. Like you got on-the-job training. But at the same time, there had to be some knowledge before you leave. And we'll base that off of something. Let's see. Allah Shemut, they call Exodus. See if that's chapter 4. For those that watch, Allah Shemut means and all are these for these names. And these names. These were the names, okay? 4, I don't know, see if it's 26. Maybe 24, I don't know. We just shooting to see how it goes. This is the 4th chapter. So go down. I'm saying, okay. We'll start 27. I put 26. Okay. Come on. Chris?
27?
27.
Yes, sir. And Yahuah said unto Aharon, go into Midbar,
The wilderness.
Bamidbar, to meet Moshe, and he went and met him in the Har of Elohim,
That's
and
right.
kissed
in the
him.
mountain of Elohim, and he kissed him. Mm-hmm.
And Moshe told Aharon,
Do what?
call Devari Yahuah, who had sent him, and all ha-otat he had commanded him.
Uh-huh. He told him. He had commanded him. Come on.
And Moshe and Aharon went and assembled together, call Kani Bani Yasharal,
That call, I think, is for all. The call.
Zakanim Bani Yasharal.
Uh-huh.
And Aharon spoke.
The elders, he called the elders, he wanted to call the elders, all the elders of the children of Yasharal. Okay?
And Aharon spoke ha-dabarim, which Yahuah had spoken unto Moshe, and he did ha-otat before the of Ha'am.
Before the arm, before the people. So look what he did. He did all the ots. This is the OT. OT is for signs, the ot. So they're saying it makes an O sound. We use the A for the ots. So they're saying it makes an O sound. But they're looking, so we learn as we go on. Well, these are the signs. So he's telling him did the signs before the of the people, okay? And that's what happened.
And the Ammon,
And the what?
the Ammon,
And they Ammon. Then what happened?
and when they Shama that Yahuah had visited the Benim of Yasharal,
What happened?
and that he had looked upon their Oni,
Probably their sufferings. What happened?
then they bowed their heads in Shekah.
That's what they did. So now this is important, the reason why he brought them out. And the people Ammon. Y'all see what happened? This makes sense because later, remember, he was going to bring them out. So now when they start to see the signs that he performed in Mizraim, that's why they came out. Like what you'll think in your mind, these people was in Mizraim, they seen the signs and they came out. No. Those people came out because they had been taught. They saw the signs. Everything lined up. You can't do anything without a witness. All they saw the first time is what he showed them. Once it happened before their eyes again, guess what happened? That's confirmation. Okay? Let's see what he told at the 13th chapter of the book of 1 Corinthians. 13 and 2 Corinthians 13, 1 Corinthians 13, 1. See if that's 2 Corinthians 13, 1. That'd be 13. That's 11 and 1. Oh, that's not a 13. Okay, let me see that. Second. Listen what happened. Listen.
This is the Pa'am Hashalishi. I am coming to you.
So that was, hold on, Shanim. Third, supposed to been third time, but Shanim is for 3.
Shalishi. I'm coming to you.
Shalishi. I'm looking over here. Okay. Listen, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm saying. They spell, okay. I'm over at the corner over here looking. I'm sorry. Yeah, Shalishi. But you see how they spell it. That last little part, them last 4 letters, serious, ain't it? So I ain't did nothing wrong. Ain't that right? I was just missing the first 2. So that's 3. The ha and the sha. Ain't that right? That last part, I've been on that one. Listen.
By the Pa Shani Shalishi Edim, every debar shall be established.
What makes sense for this, and now this set a precedent for us. The fact that you were just told that he telling them this is the 3rd time he came to them. Now he's coming back to let him know he was confirming something for them. That this is the 3rd time that I come to you now. And he told you that at the mouth or out of the mouth, they use at when they say out of the mouth, right? He said of 2, 3 witnesses, he said let every dabarim, let it be established. So when Mushal worked all of the ox before them, they had to see it again before they could come out. See, you don't know why thing. That's why he told you how when we start out by how whatever was written before was written for our people. Say, why they ain't come out then? It makes sense because they were setting a precedent for us. They needed that. Why do you think he came and told them it was his 3rd time coming? And he will be able to revert back to your writings to let them know. Now everything was established. When they saw it happen, they already knew this confirmation. This is the 2nd time he's done it. Then we know it's time for us to go. So I know he couldn't have came and told Abraham something one time, and Abraham just went out there and just left. It makes no sense. Nobody just jump up, just come talk to me, and I just jump up and go. I got to have some information. Right. Just like with them. You heard when he said when they saw the ox, what they do? When they saw the ox, what did the Zakanim do? That's it. What are they going to do? They believe. But once they saw these things start to fall in line again, this was confirmation. See, that's how we waiting on now. We're trying to line this thing up so we can start to operate the same way they operated, but you got to understand the ideals on how they put together. See, they're trying to get you to believe you just hear something and just go. These people were taught, just like now. You got to be taught to leave him. If he don't teach, like now, if we leave him right now, a lot of my members are going to get killed. Because a lot of y'all so far off center, it's ridiculous. Y'all so in love with these people, you're backstab. It's just it's in your ruach like that you don't really want to leave or break away from these people to really be. You want to be saved with, don't really have to do what you got to do, then you still want to stay here. You can't do that. No more than Abraham could stay there. You can't do it. I'm just being honest. It's not possible. It's not feasible for you to do it and still be with these people. We're going to have to flee. We got to get out from that place. That's just being honest. People don't believe it. He told them that thing. You got to flee to the heart. You ain't going to believe it. When they left from Israel, they went to the heart. Okay. Yeah, you stay there. Stay. You know what they'll do? They'll go right over there to Arabia Mountain. Man, you could jump over Arabia Mountain. They ain't nothing, man. Just stop it, man. Them white folk mountain, they ain't no real mountain, man. Ain't that right? Man, you can rub that thing wide, slap over, and jump on the top of it. Don't even get tired running up that thing. Man, stop it. Them people, man, the stuff we got out there you run to, them thing put you in Shamayim. Listen, you could be burned up hot down here, you get to the top of it, be freezing. You know what I'm saying, man? That thing got levels of climate to it. You know how high you got to be in the air, man? You get up to the top, you down here, you hot. You up to the top, you freezing. Listen, man, that thing climate changing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got some stuff we got some stuff set up there. You fall down that bad boy, you over with. You better be right. Ain't that right? You better be right. You definitely coming straight back down. All right. So that's what I want us to kind of look at and consider. I know a lot of times people don't look at it that way, but these are the things that we really have to set back and we have to consider when we look at the plan of Yeshua salvation. It was to people with a confirmation. These people looked at getting out from among some people. The teaching that we get, that we're being taught, it actually make you look at breaking relationship with people. And it really puts us in mind of where we have to connect even more. But it's a lot of little things we still have to work out of us. And I tell you about me, tell us about us. It ain't what's the kill you song? Kill out different things that we were told. Get that Colossians 3:1, just to verify why we're doing it. But at the same time, in order for us to get that real connect and get that bond we need to allow us to be the people that he'll take back to cohabitate with him. And he's looking for people to be able to look at, we have to play a bigger precedent with each other than people out here in the world do. A lot of times we'll still have that mama, daddy, sister, brother, grandmama touch and love and care so much. I definitely don't teach not a hobby of family. I never teach that. People done took that stuff talking about, we can't be, I know y'all done push them lies. I never told y'all no stuff like that. You do what you want to do. I just feel like if you stand like you're supposed to, they ain't gonna fool with you too much anyway. Now you hold your standard, you ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gonna tell them, I don't have to cut you off. No, baby, they gonna cut you off. You ain't gotta drop their number. They gonna get rid of they'll change their number. So I'm gonna change my number, my family won't call me. I guarantee you, you stand there like you're supposed to. You ain't gotta worry about that. They'll change their number. They don't wanna be bothered with you. Now that's not to say you can't associate with your family, you can't do, but what we do, when you talk about the people of Elohim, that's a tighter bond than what you got with your maternal grandmama, mother, or brothers or sister, whatever you got. But a lot of time I know it's hard. Even for people out there watching, they still have a greater love for that family connection they got. But the man we Shakar, we abad, we serve. Abad is a servant, and abad also stands for serve. The man we serve, I mean, he broke away from his. That's just bottom line. He was at a wedding with his aim, and he want to know what they got to do with me. That old mama, what they got to do with me? About they need wine. He let him know he's looking at his time. It is. People, it's just, I mean, his connection with us. You don't find him out, him and his brother, they went out hanging out one time, shot ball. I ain't teaching nobody to shoot. You just don't find it. I mean, his connect was more with them. I mean, just being honest. He told him, and that's what he stood on. He said, my brother, my Aku, my sister, and my aim, my mother, he said, are these. They wish Shama to the bar Elohim and do it. You know it's Shama. He said, because he just told you can't hear it, but you got to be a doer. He said because there's some people that no doubt saying, he look at me like a mother. He said, and do it. She said, oh, not me. He's talking about somebody else. Because you won't do it. See, that's the whole key. He told you. So I had to show you the difference in just hearing. He said, which hear the word of Elohim and do it. So if you're not hearing with the intent to do, He said, we have no, he like Uncle Rucker. Uncle Rucker, no relation. Uncle Rucker cleared up every time he came in. My name is Reverend Dr. Rucker, no relation. Because you know how niggas say, I think you, no relation. Don't even try it. We not related. I ain't related. No, are you related to the Ruckers? No relation. When they come in, he cut you off. We not, everybody, we not over time. You kin, no relation. I ain't related to nobody. Y'all hear me? The only people the man say he related to it, them that hit the debunk and do it. But we got to get to that point where people really take a mindset of considering where your affections got to be. This is Colossians 3 and y'all heard it before. 3 and 1. Listen.
If therefore ye were made to stand up, Kai in hit Kahad Shut with Ra'ah, Malak HaMashiach, seek those things above, where Mashiach is.
With the emperor. Slow down for a minute now. Slow down, whoop. Colossians. I do some breakdown here. If therefore you were made to stand up alive and had Kitshut with the teacher, the emperor, the RBBBE is for rabbi. Malik is going to be for the Malak, the anointed one. Let's see this word right here. I probably can do the Bible Hub. I think Bible Hub is short to you with the meaning. So in the English and the binary too. Is that what you're looking at, Bible Hub? I'm talking about him. That's you looking at Bible Hub. He said no. They said no. It's our left. No, but I think Bible Hub, one of those Bible Hubs will show it to you with the meaning too. And what's another? All generation renewal. Okay. Oh, regeneration. Okay. 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 Regeneration renewal. Words we don't use. Which are above, see out. So the right hand, sitting on the right hand of Yahushua. I think it says sitting on the right hand of God in that book, doesn't it? So they went back and they put the Shem, they're saying the name was used. Or they possibly did it and wrote it saying the name would be there, just put it there. Okay. What do you want me to do?
Place your mashva'at above, not on the things of the alam.
Because I would say set your affection. This would say your thoughts above in Shamaim and not on things of the alam. Highs. 4.
You moot, and the Kaim of you has become hidden with Mashiach in Yahuah.
When
Ra'ah Malak HaMashiach, who is Kaniyu, is made manifest in
his galus,
then also you with him will be made manifest in his galus.
So what you to do is kazum.
Kazum.
But this is new modern, the new modern, they will do that. And the reason why we came over to kind of look at it, we probably going to have to slow it down so much. But this is the thing we all start looking at about now. When you look at these things, how you seeking those things which are above in Shamaim. Now, think about this. You know, when you look at Abraham actually kind of emulated these type of things. Because if you kind of look at it, when he told him about if he could number his descendants, you remember what he wanted him to count at? So where was his affection? And not. Because remember, he looked at one time how old his body was. But he looked up and he counted. So you think about, a lot of times we'll go deeper than where things at. When you really consider Abraham and his working, he had him to separate, he wanted him to count the Kukabins and Shamaim. Even when we go back to the 4th chapter of the book of Romans, when you start looking at the first verse, it starts talking about what Abraham had found and how it was accounted to him. Later, it started telling you how he didn't even consider his body, which was now dead. It was old. He was past the time. He was 100 years old. 100-year-old men don't make babies. He was past the time. Yet, he looked at what Elohim had committed to his trust. And we looked at, just like him, assurance that he actually guarded it. He guarded to defend. This is what we don't do. Well, Elohim give us an amar, a commandment, or order. We're supposed to guard that. Okay? If he gives us an order for us not to do something, that means somebody's going to come to try to penetrate, to try to get you to do it. Your goal is to guard it. Just like a center. In a basketball, what's his goal? What's his position down there when he on defense down at the back? That's him. That's it. He's trying to keep you from scoring. I'm going to slap it down. I'm do what I can. I'm trying to block it. I'm going to get it. My job is to guard this goal to keep a basket from getting in here. And when Elohim give us a commandment or order, that's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to guard it. We get it, though nothing's going to challenge it. So he's letting you know there's going to be people that's going to come and they're going to be an opposer. People are going to be opposers. Your behaviors are opposers against the will of Elohim. If I told you don't fornicate, you don't think your penis is going to get hard? Then you have to guard against what things that could come in to try to get you to get outside of that realm. Anything, affection, different thing that come in to do, if you was a person and you were into the same sex or whatever, that's a behavior you've been used to. Now you learn that the bar comes along and he tells you that you can't lay with the same. So you don't think emotions and feelings don't arouse. You got to guard against it. You got to protect. Your job is to defend. These are things I don't think we actually consider. When he told us, this man guarded to make sure things happen the way Elohim gave it to him. See, we look at it. He told me I ain't got to worry about nothing. No, I told him, I want you to defend it. Just like when he gave them the city, Jerusalem. Why do you think they put a wall? If he gave it to you, why would you need a wall up? Who could take it from you? Elohim gave it to you, right? But they built the wall. And they set people up as watchmen. And what were these people setting there for? For defense, to guard it. So a lot of times, this is where you fall. This is where we fall because we don't think. We really don't think. If you then be risen. This man brought this man up. When he brought them, just like what he told them when they were in the Beth of Bun, he told them, I brought you up out of the land of. Symbolism to them being Zarok, them being resurrected. I brought you up out of. So they could understand something. If you then be risen with him, then you're supposed to seek those things which when he brought him up from out of the Beth of his Abba. Don't you know he was seeking those things which are above? He said he was going to number my kukabin, my affection on things above, and they weren't on things of the rise. So I can't get concerned about I need to just go on, but I am not saying there's no kata. Please don't say that. But I'm just telling you, Abraham's mind was he was not going back. Now that's different than us now. We'll shoot by, drop by, just check the missed call. Abraham didn't go back. He didn't go back. He told him, I can't go back. So we read when Shaul told us pressing, putting those things behind and pressing toward the mark of the high calling. That makes sense. We're the only people that keep going back. And I said, well, why you let us go back? Because I know where y'all at, and you'll use that for your excuse to quit. A lot of y'all do stuff. You know better than a lot of stuff y'all do. Y'all know better. It ain't today. Some stuff y'all do just downright stupid. But I just know that's where you at. That's where they at. When you get grown, then you'll start using your head. You're not grown right now. You're still a child. And you'll pay for that stuff. It's just stuff you start looking at. What we going to do with Abraham when he ain't go back, though? How they going to work for us? What we going to say? He different than us. We ain't in them time. Abraham didn't go back. That's tight. But then you read this, tell you, if you then be risen with it, he told you to seek them things which are above. Why you go back? Because that ain't what you're seeking. He said, well, he sit on the right hand. Set your affection on things well and not on things Why? He said you move, and your Kai supposed to be hid in him. He's supposed to have your Kai. That don't make sense if you do it. That's amazing. Because you know, he told Abraham that in his seed, all Goyim were going to be wrought through him. Who had Abraham's life? It was hid in Yasakal. Don't worry about it. Don't even try to think about it. Stay spiritual. That's what he just told him. It's going to be through your Goyim. So Abraham dead. So the promise should have been dead too, shouldn't it? Why was it still going? And it was hid in the seed. He hid it in him. Where was that? Where was it? Listen, when he appeared, you ain't gonna believe it, Abraham gonna appear with him in Kabul. It was hid in him. That's what he told him. He told all of them through your seed. You don't really want to be a thinker, do you? A thinker will really make you look at things differently and how you kind of do things and how you really kind of how you let things happen. I have to use demonstrations sometimes so we really understand. That makes a difference when we look at him. When he just said he kept, but we look at when our word, it's guarding. We're like, well, I'm keeping it. You're talking about guarding. Let me see for a second. Let me do me a favor. Now, the word he gave for you to get in, okay? Now, if I get around you, then you ain't gonna make it. And why are you doing this?
So I get in.
That's right, you gotta guard it. Hey, wait, what are you gonna stand? He gonna stand because he gave it to him. I ain't gonna walk past him. That's what Abraham did. You gotta guard it. That's your job. And y'all will faint, cry, holler, and quit. That's your job. You never looked at because a lot of stuff they never gave it to us that. Once he gave it to you, now you're a defender of it. That's your job. You are a defender. Let's see. See that 10 and 4. 2 Corinthians. This is why people quit, because they feel like things should just come. It shouldn't have to be that hard. I don't know why. He done told you the adversary. He going through just like Ari. He's trying to devour you. What y'all think gonna happen? Anybody gonna let you in? That's crazy. Nobody gonna let you in. You have to fight. Let's see. This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Listen.
For the weapons of our warfare are not of the basar,
Not of the flesh. What happened?
but are full of koach through Yahuah in the overthrowing of strongholds, reasonings.
Let's see what koach. What you say, Minister Dexter? Go ahead, Dexter. Say it. Say it! Say it! I mean, if I put an emoji up there, it's tight. But I've been at cucumber going through a eggplant, going through a donut hole. Definitely. Co-op. Need a definition. We need co-op. Oh, strength of understanding. Okay. So the koach is strength of understanding. Okay? So that's what you're looking at, your strength come through your understanding. Okay? So then when they tell you about the weapons of your warfare are not carnal, they're not through the basal. They are the koach. They're in the strength of your understanding. To the doing what? Chris?
Through Hashem to the overthrowing of strongholds,
Overthrowing a stronghold.
and every high-minded thing come up against the da'as of Yahuah, and leading captive.
That come against the understanding. That's what you don't realize. The stuff that come in the da'as is the understanding. So now he's telling you that's the strength of your understanding comes to fight against things that come to try to take away your understanding. It fights against how you rise. Just like this is what people don't realize who didn't have it. And now just for listening to that, okay? The strength of your understanding. It comes to going down and say that come up against the da'as, the understanding of Elohim, of Yahuah. Okay, so this is important. So this will show you an example of how it works. Now, when they was in the gun, Ka'ur, she met the Nakash, that they call the serpent. And their argument was about her wearing a skirt. What was their argument about? It was about her eating of the pari that he told them not to eat. So the strength of her understanding was not there because she allowed him to fight against understanding. That's what he did. Listen, why he told her she wouldn't surely die? Because you really don't understand what you understand. See, that's the difference in you reciting something and knowing something. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Now, he just told you about the ko'ak, which is the strength of your understanding. She didn't have it. Okay? She didn't have it. And that's why we learn to realize how people are defeated. Because when he tells you something, that's why it's so important for you to obtain that knowledge of it and have a command of, because he going through, he gonna rip you apart. He ripped her apart. She was able to recite back. She said, I'm trying to think, I remember he said some. She never told, the writers never told her she did it. She said he told her we weren't supposed, he said he told her we weren't supposed to touch it, lest we move. He said, you ain't gonna really die though. And because she didn't understand what she did, she gave in to the Basar. At that point, when she looked at, she was overthrowing information. Now he said, it really looked kind of good. I really want it. And I want Da'ah. I want understanding. She said she wanted to be wise. And she took it, she ate of it. And so he tells you about this because you don't realize you can't get in the conversation with everybody. I know a lot of times, a lot of people thinking you'll play challenging game with people. You can't play challenging game with people because a lot of times they're going to fight your understanding. And because you don't know, it don't mean you're wrong. Just like her, because she didn't really understand, it don't mean that what he told her was wrong. They'll get you to say, so you don't understand. See, that means he wrong. No, he was right. You just lack that. You lack the strength of your understanding. They give you the ability where you couldn't just be torn down or pushed over. Your understanding had to be equivalent to the strength of Shamshun. They told her, they said, so his strength wasn't known. Because of the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Because you stand with it, you don't let other people impede it. You understand what you're supposed to do. But I'm telling y'all that, does it make a difference when y'all now hearing that you'll become a guardian? Or you have to guard, you have to protect it. You got to protect it. Where your vulnerable spots at? For a man, where your vulnerable spots at? Where a man vulnerable spots at? So it's going to make sense that fornication, adultery going to be a stronghold on you. So I got to guard that area. I got to guard that area. I got to guard the because my eyes going to pull to a thing. It's different. You know what you're vulnerable. Why wouldn't you guard them? I'm being honest. I mean, why wouldn't you? I remember on that movie, one of my favorite movies is with Clint Eastwood. He went into the bar, Unforgiven. He walked in there, his friend Ned having kid was sitting in front of there. He walked in. He wanted to know who owned that play. He said, I bought it. I bought it from Grilly. He told the rest of them, he said, y'all get back out the way. He blowed that jug away. Bam! He said, sir, you just shot an unarmed man. He said he should have armed himself when he was gonna decorate this. He was gonna decorate this saloon with my friend. He looked at you should have kept a gun on you. When you killed him and put him out in front of that shop, you should have stayed armed. So you should have been ready to defend. You guys, y'all come in here, y'all gonna take this on the door, watch it in. You should have been ready to defend. You always defend it. You always gotta fight it. That's why you found Yashra always fighting. Because when he gives you his order, something's always gonna challenge against it. And then you sit and you cry and you faint and you holler and you wanna know why. Because you have to do like Abraham did, you're gonna have to guard it. That's it. It's your position to guard what he gave you. Protect it. Defend it. Okay. Let's see what he told her. Let's see what we're supposed to do it. Listen.
For every high-minded thing come up against the da'as of Yahuah,
That come against the knowledge of Elohim,
and leading captive every thought into the mishmat of Ra'ah Malak HaMashiach.
when? Did he tell about that? Oh, and verse 6?
And prepared to discipline all disobedience.
When?
Whenever your obedience is completed.
Oh, you just read it in bracket.
Mishma'at.
Yeah, mishma'at is what it's saying. It's completed. So we're going to look at Talmud. See, that's what we're looking at now. So when we look at Talmud with Yahushua, when you look at him, look at how he beat the war he fought and he won. Y'all know how he beat it? With strength of understanding. Who did he fight on that Yom when he was on the tube? Y'all know how he beat Kataim? Strength of understanding.
Right.
Why you think you get defeated by it? Because you have no understanding. Think about it. Who did he fight that day? What weapon did he use? That's why he could tell me it was finished. It was Talmud. I beat it with strength of understanding. See, you trying to look at fighting a physical war. Originally, Yasharal fought a physical war because Yasharal was a carnal people. Yasharal went to a point of understand they were fighting principalities, things in higher places than just the people they were fighting. But to get them to understand that, they were fighting against empires. And those empires had rulers that put decrees out. So it made sense when they understood later that I'm fighting against principality in high places. A lot of these people don't want to fight. It's the people over them. Like I tell y'all about these people, the police officers. It's the police officers. What I tell y'all? Somebody's giving them their orders. Have I not told y'all that? I said, how I say it's not the everyday white man. I say it's the people in government, but it's put in your face to make you look like it's the plain officer, and it's the everyday white man. There is a system put in place that you are fighting against. But because your understanding is not strengthened to the end that you can stand and resist, you keep thinking you find something this small when you find something a whole lot bigger later. And now you got to be taught how to defend. Why do you think Dawood taught his people and want them to use the use of the bow? They've been defeated. They didn't learn how to pierce through. They didn't know how to shoot. Y'all didn't know how to take down. Before thinking, you don't shoot a born. I'm going to shoot a born there. Design me to shoot around him. Where ain't going? Nowhere. For long, I want to get him before he get that close. And that's how you got to learn how to fight. You wait till Qatar get too close up on you. That done grabs you. That done took a hold of you. You don't play with it too much. What do you think? Those for distance. When you see things coming, that you can go ahead and try to fight them off and deter before they get there. Some of y'all want to go, I'm just trying to see if I grown. No. You grown, you don't even play with it. I mean, I ain't going to no strip club to sit down, see if I can live. Because one, two things. I'm going to give in, I'm gay. I ain't gay. I went to the strip club, I ain't do nothing because you gay. Ain't no reason because you gay. Isn't that right? I did something because you're a sinner. Just leave it alone. They don't add out to nothing. It's something. Don't even test yourself with it. You don't need to go down. I'm just going to the liquor store, just going and see it. Look at how the Lord done grow me. No, I'm not interested. I stay out. I used to have a drinking problem. Ain't that right? I get a real problem when I ran out. Ain't that right? So no, that's it. Certain stuff you don't want to play with it. That best way to go. The knowledge. That's that strength of understanding. That's what we're working on. So we constantly keep going through, looking at situations to kind of better how we look at things to prevent ourselves from going backwards. Yeah, I used to do it too many times. You be going back. You can't make it going backwards. You got to go forward. You just got to go forward, but you got to go forward. You got to have a plan on how exactly you're trying to do this thing and how you perceive it. Like I said, now we're going to look at every one of these Amar he gave up. They were supposed to guard it. That was it. Defend it. Y'all got it. What you think he do when people go against it? He fight people that oppose him. Come on, he fight people that oppose. Why you think Yahuah taking these people? What he trying to tell you? I fight people that oppose their mind. Because I'm a guardian. I'm a guarder of it. And that's what I'm trying to get you to. I'm trying to get you to guard it. If it's your mother, if it's your sister, if it's your brothers, your uncle, your aunties, your granny, your great, it don't make no difference who it is. He's supposed to be a defender of it. But our emotions ain't there yet. We're still emotionally too attached to, and we don't want to try to look like we acting funny, and we don't want to forget where we came from. Shaul said forgetting them things behind him. A lot of times, that's why you can't ever progress. Because you got too much past. A lot of y'all fight too much past. The past is what it is. It's the past. I can't go back and erase my whole past. I mean, it's what it is. At that time, I could make a better future, though. And because of all the mistakes, I mean, it don't make sense to make that. I know some of them, I ain't going to make that one. That don't make sense. It's too hard to overcome it. It's too hard every time you start from ground zero. You don't put it in time now, you got to go back ground zero and start over. It just don't make no sense. And then you got to start looking at a period of time, how many times he going to give you that opportunity. So it's our benefit to really sit down and take it serious. I'm telling you, he challenged everybody in here with something, either on your health, your finances, or it could be mentally, or it could be other physical things that he give you. He's going to challenge you on with because he needs us to consider them. These are the last year, and these people have no idea, world ending. That earthquake came and hit a country that sit on the border of 8 other countries. I don't know why they keep talking about Turkey. Syria was hit. Baghdad was hit. Iraq was hit. Who else? Armenia was hit. Lebanon was hit. He had a lot of places. That thing shook a lot of people. It ain't just, I don't know why they keep just talking about Turkey. They're trying to calm down. Buffalo, New York was hit. Y'all know about that either. They got hit too. Everybody getting hit. That's right up by Niagara Falls. And he go ahead and broke that loose on them. You know how much water they'll come down Niagara Falls? They're not ready for that. They're not ready for a collapse of Niagara Falls to drop down. And it's already called fall. All they had to do is put E-N at the end of it. Falling. Isn't that right? And that thing coming down. He gonna take it down. These folks gonna see. He done told you it ain't gonna end with a flood. This man not done with these people. Listen, y'all can keep sitting here and fooling around. Y'all can look at it's challenging to y'all. You can look at things happen to you. Because my part, he said, got to start with us. If it start with us, he said, what the end going to be for the rest of them that hadn't shown up? These people going to say he going to pay. They look at you and say, man, why y'all going through? Why thing happen to you? He's trying to give you yours now. They going to get there later. They'll pay for it. All the stuff they're doing, everybody going to pay for it. But some of y'all, unfortunately, with the correction that you get, it ain't enough to deter you from what you're doing. This ain't a good time to be on the outside. The doors closed. These people going to say, they're going to be hard. They're not going to make it back. It's impossible. These people, this is the end. Don't y'all know that man said, listen, he said the end ain't going to come except there be a great falling away. Did y'all know that? Okay. That's what he said. It's going to be a great falling away. Y'all will see it. A lot of folks have to give up and let it go. That's why I ain't mad with it. It's the book. What I'm going to say? What y'all doing falling away? Tell me what you doing what the book told you to do. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. That's a lot of y'all going to see it. A lot of y'all going to give up. Let me tell you what, you can't stay unstable for so long. Oh, I know a lot of y'all keep scratching your life trying to figure what side you want to play with. You can't be unstable so long. You got to go and make your mind up, and you got to be assured about what you're doing. But everybody going to get challenged. Why he challenged you with all these things to see where you at? Why do you think he challenged you? He challenged you to show you where you at. A lot of people good to a point to the right thing hit, and then guess what? I can't do it no more. And you ain't going to believe it. I know. Very few people going to be able to do it. That's just being honest. Huh? I'm trying to tell you. Y'all going to see it's going to be tight. Listen, it is Sadiq going to scarcely be saved. He said, what do you think the rest of these Rocha and these Kata ain't going to appear? Don't you know, listen, everybody who can do this, do it. Barely going to make it. I can't expect nobody already struggling to make this in. There's no way you're going to make it. I'll be the first one to tell you, a lot of y'all ain't going to make it. It ain't possible. Because where you at and how you see and what you rationalize, it ain't there. It's just being practiced. It ain't there. It's some stuff out there you thinking, you're dumb. I do want to put on record, you're very dumb because I don't see what you see out there. Everybody got COVID. Everybody dying. So I don't know what you could possibly see out here that makes sense. Everybody got COVID. Everybody dying. I don't know what's that. When I was coming along younger, it was more strong word to keep you out there. We ain't had no COVID. In 95, we wasn't fighting COVID. We wasn't fighting the stuff we fight now. There was a lot more of the world to keep you out there, and the world had longer life back then. Any fool could look out here and see these folks ain't gonna make it. They ain't down. It ain't down. Common sense, nothing these people doing. But a lot of y'all love it so much. You so embodied in, struggling with it. You just got to go out there and see. You ain't gonna make it. Y'all think that was the last earthquake that man got? He not done yet. It ain't too late for them people to get a tsunami either. It ain't the 7.7 that really hurt you so bad, 7 It's all the tremors you get. And they got hit twice with the same number. He still hitting them. They not done. Y'all know them tremors. Them tremors that so whatever ain't falling down, he just show you. All it takes is a little shake. That same thing with us. He done shook us up before. and you think you held on, he gonna shake you again. And they're gonna be the one that break it. They call it the straw that broke the camel back. That's why you gotta lock in and gotta make sure you get serious about this way. That's a lot of them too. Out of towns, everybody. I be polite from out of town. I know a lot of y'all out there playing around now. I ain't no fool. Don't think, oh, I know. I ain't no fool. I know my men playing around. I know what they're doing. I be polite for them. You gonna play one time, 2 minutes. It's gonna be the end of you though. That's your be end. Listen, anyone y'all losing, make no mistake. You can go ahead and delete my number. This to the end now. You're not gonna make it back. Go ahead and delete my number. You're not gonna make it back. You can sit there you want to and hold on. You're not gonna make it back. This thing folding up on everybody. I don't want to be one on the outside. That's for me too. I can lose my number by going for. I can't fall away. I gotta be him. I understand that. I didn't come here to see because I ain't come here to see because I quit and quit. I had to quit that word. I fought that word hard to break away from it. I'm not going back to that. Y'all don't know what it's like. I told you, a lot of y'all, you should have came in the hard way. That little lollipopping in here and nothing going on. That's why you can play. I didn't come in lollipopping. I didn't come in lollipop. It was hard on me. That thing was hard, man. It was hard on me. I had to fight through a lot of stuff, man, I didn't want to do. Go to work, get a job. That was like prison. Man, I felt embarrassed. I was embarrassed. It was embarrassing. Go get a job. Look at that. The drug dealer get a job. I was like, God. But you know what? I wanted to live right. It was embarrassing. It embarrassed me enough to stop me from doing it, though. So damn. I went in 2-car to no car. It was embarrassing. It didn't embarrass me enough to not do it, though. Oh, yeah, it was embarrassing. It hurt. Nothing embarrassed me enough not to do it, though. I did it. I'm telling you, oh, yeah, it hurt it. Oh, it hurt it because people knew me. People knew what I did. I'm the party spreader. I'm the one putting it on. My son done hurt my cousin told. They said, I was in charge of getting it. Them boy come see, listen, they come see me. Listen, I put the part on. Y'all hear me? Listen, you come see me. I got a tub full of alcohol, I got weed, and I got women's. I had my cousin told, he said, man, Tony, y'all mama got Tony. I said, man, he said, man, we lost her. He said, man, I was lost out there. He said, man, your mama got Tony. He said, man, the fun cut off. Shoot, but I set a lot of folks on out there. But you know what? When that man touch your heart, man, you got to change. That stuff didn't mean nothing to me. All that stuff does, that stuff didn't mean nothing to me no more. I want to live right. I want to live right. I'll tell you quick about one night about that girl I had met at the club when you showed Joe behind back there. Nice looking little girl too, but I had a little needle baby, that Tony Braxton haircut, looked kind of like Tony Braxton. I walked out that club, me, I was talking, she gave my number. She said, call me. She said, call me tomorrow. I said, I told her I was going to church. I said, get a job. I mentioned to her about, she said, church. She said, church. She said, I don't believe in God. I said, she said, call me now, call me. She got her car there. I stood right there. I throw her number down. You go there, it's still on the ground. I don't know if you can read it. I ain't ride, listen, I ain't circle back. I ain't ride through the parlor. I take my time. Hey, anybody seen the fold-up paper? I never look back. I ain't never play no stuff like that. Like, man, you a demon. That girl said, I don't believe in God. Listen, I was done. That stuff new. I ain't play no stuff like that. I like, folks dangerous. Laying that thing, boy, that cesspool gonna kill you. And she was ready too. And she was right to be ready. But nope, I wasn't that guy. Wasn't that guy. A lot of stuff, man, I'm telling you. I was laughing about stuff. Man, listen, them old days. I can talk about, I've been new. That man kept working on me. And you gotta let it go. That's why I don't see how people, I just don't see how people do it. Listen, that man worked on me. Y'all hear me? When that man, I'm talking about, y'all be talking about stuff, closing down right. That's what he gotta do to get you right. That's how he gonna stop me. If there's a hole, I'm gonna find it. If there's a way around it, I'm gonna get it. I'm telling you, that's just how you operate. I'm gonna get around it. Y'all hear me? I'm no detour, road closed. I'm looking how to get around it. Ain't no street left. I'm looking for a street. There ain't no street. It gotta be a street. You just gotta know where to look at. That man cut everything around you and let everything fail. Just get you to a point you realize you gotta call on his name. Now you gotta work for him. Now I'm out here working for him. Y'all hear me? That's it. I had folk working for me. Now I'm working for him. That's it. That's just plain and simple what it is. I know y'all might think your life unfair. Your life fair. It got you him. I know you look at your situation. But my situation be better. I'm telling every one of y'all. If your situation was any better, you'll be out of him. He gonna better your situation when you better yourself with him. Better your relationship with him and watch him better your situation. There's too many people, things changing. I'm telling you. There's a lot of stuff I can go do. Y'all just don't know. I don't do it. There's a lot of stuff. Y'all know what I want to do when I leave him? I'm going to go hunt. Better tell him again. So every word be expressed. He right. I'm thinking about going straight to my car and go home and smoke. I don't smoke no cocaine now. I do hemp. Help me sleep. I get through all these crazy niggas in the world. I need to go home and go to sleep. I don't want to smoke no hemp, go ride downtown. I don't want to look through no windows, and I don't want to go shopping. I want to go home. I want to go to sleep. I'm polite to Mr. Yahuah. I already got them rolled up. I stay rolled. Huh? I'm trying to tell you, I don't get ready. I say, you get ready, you behind. I've been ready. I roll 10 at a time. I had to be ready. Ain't that right? Make sure my work is done. Ain't that right? I said, it's right here to get me through a week or so. And all these smoking nothing, I get ready and go to sleep. Look at the TV. When I cut that TV on, I just wait and I roll over that joke, go to sleep. Leave that move on, roll on. That thing, it be 4 or 5 other movies that play. I said, I don't know what didn't happen, but I know I was asleep. That's just it. That's it. I want to serve Yahuah. I don't go to sleep. I want to rest. Stay out of trouble. Stay out them streets. I don't be no street. Yeah, that's it, man. I don't have time. Now, I don't need him to stay out of trouble, but I know when I get through, I ain't got time. I'm going to sleep. That's it. I don't take my time, live right, and lay down and just go to sleep. I done all kind of stuff. I can go, listen, I can go shopping where I want to go shopping. I can go on a trip wherever I want to go on this planet, I can go. I go home and smoke that hemp, and I can go, and I wake up, and I got the same amount of money. I let my wife done went through a drawer and done stole something don't belong to her. You smoke and you feel good that night, you can go anywhere you want to go to for free. Man, get yourself right. I know they're looking at it. Smoking is sin. They're going to be tight because you heard talking about that smoke going up in his nostril. So when he was burning incense, where you smell incense? Y'all smell them through your feet? He talked about the aroma. Huh? He talked about a sweet smelling savor. He said that aroma. That's all I'm trying to do. And I get that aroma. Isn't that right? That's all. They said, what about cigarette? You just nasty nigga. Don't gonna wear no tobacco. That stuff kill you. You got a bee sting. Let somebody else chew it, ain't got no teeth, and gum it up and put it on now. I ain't been stung by no bee. Isn't that right? I'm just trying to hemp out. Hemp, take my time, go to sleep, and just relax, serve Yahuah. My main thing is, I want to be in the Malkut when he get back here. Y'all hear me? That's why I do what I do. When people see and people know why you resist and why you'll go through and why you'll suffer, my goal is to make it in the Malkut. That's the only way you do it. If you suffering for anything other than being a Malkut, I'll tell you right now, you're a stupid fool. There's no way. If I ain't had my mind, I folk out here ain't did nothing and suffering. You think if I don't believe, I'm not fit to be sitting here struggling out him. Now if I ain't gonna be saved, that makes no sense. I got to get him because I'm going to burn later. If that's your man, you're saying that's the mentality now. I'd rather suffer him, come look and be with him and have it all. See, all the stuff these folks trying to do, it's the same work. These folks out here running with the world so they can have it all. I resist the world so Yahuah can give me all. We working in a sense for the same thing. It's just you're short term. Now, I hear a lot of stuff these people do, it's short term. See, that man I told, it's his pleasure. He want to give you the Malkut. Don't let these folks shake y'all. Ain't nobody got nothing better than what we got. What Mr. Yahuah understand? I'm telling y'all the truth. You got to believe it for yourself. Yes, and you don't believe a lot of stuff where y'all really don't believe it. Why y'all don't believe it? You here. Why did you come? What moved you? What changed? What made you look? What made you consider? Because that man unraveled your life before you. You think he unraveled it and you going to roll that thing back up and do it again? That's automatic destruction. I don't never want to be that man I used to be. I don't want to be him. He had his time. He lived his time, and I'm suffering behind that man living. I don't want to be that man no more. I want to be the man. I want to be the east. All he ain't done established. You can have all that stuff, but what you gonna do with it when the mosh pot comes? I'm telling you, whatever you got going in your life, it's just so you'll consider. It takes. Some people don't realize it takes things to happen to us of a great magnitude or people close to us, just so you'll really think about it. If nothing going on, you can't really think about it the way you need to unless something really happens. And it's really near and dear to you. Is you or somebody close to you. Now you got to consider. Sometimes you'll get to going on through life, you forget. You leaving him. You gonna leave him. You can't stay here. That's for the young kids too. All of them, y'all leaving him too. It ain't just us now. We got more of these young folks that leave him for the old people will. So it's time for us to consider and get this thing right. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. All right, let's do it.